Do you think there's a meaning to this thing we got going on? Life, existence on Earth to us individuals from a psychedelics researcher perspective or from just a human perspective?
Those merge together for me, because it's just hard. I've been doing this research for almost 17 years, and like not just the cancer study, but so many times people like. I remember a session in one of our studies, someone who wasn't getting any treatment for anything, but one of our healthy normal studies, where he was contemplating the suicide of his son, and just these. I mean, just like the most intense human experiences that you can have in the most vulnerable situations. Sometimes, like people, like and it's just like you have to have a. And you just feel lucky to be part of that process, that people trust you to let their guards down like that. Like I don't know the meaning. I think the meaning of life is to find meaning. And I think I just described it a minute ago. It's like that transcendence of everything. Like the it's the beauty despite the absolute ugliness. It's
Yes.
the and as a species, and I think more about this. Like I think about this a lot. It's the fact that we are. I mean, we come from filth. I mean, we're we're animals. We come from like we're all descendant from murderers and rapists. Like we, despite that background, we are capable of this self-sacrifice and the connection and figuring things out, truth, science, and other forms of truth, seeking, and an artwork, just the beauty of music and other forms of art. It's like the fact that that's possible is the
Mhm.
meaning of life. I mean,
And
and
ultimately, that feels to be creating more and richer experiences. The From a Russian perspective, both the dark, the you mentioned the cancer diagnosis or losing a child to suicide, or all those dark things is still rich experiences, and also the beautiful creations, the art, the music, the science. That's also rich experience. So somehow we're figuring out, from just like psychedelics expand our mind to the possibility of experiences, somehow we're able to figure out different ways as a society to expand the realm of experiences. And from that, we
right.
gain meaning somehow.
Right. And that's part of like this, we're going across different levels here, but like the idea that so-called bad trips or challenging experiences
Yeah.
are so common in psychedelic experiences. It's like that's a part of that. Like, yeah, it's tough. And most of the important things in life are really, really tough and scary. And most of the things like the death of a loved one, like it told like the greatest learning experiences, the things that make you who you are the horrors. And it's like, yeah, we try to minimize them, we try to avoid them, but and I don't know. I think we all need to get into the mode of like giving ourselves a break, both personally and societally. I mean, I went through like I think a lot of people do these days in my 20s, like humans are just we're kind of a disease on the planet, and
Yeah.
like, and then in terms of our country, in terms of the United States, it's like, oh, we have all these horrible, sins in our past, and it's like I think about that like I think about it like my 3-year-old. It's like, yeah, you can construct a story where this is all just horror. You can look at that stuff and say this is all just horror.
Yeah.
Where you are, does like there's no logical answer to our rational answer to say we're not a disease on the planet. From one lens, we are. You know, and like there's you could just look at humanity as that, like nothing but this horrible thing. You can look at you name the system, oh, modern medicine, Western medicine, the university system, and it's like you could
Right.
dismiss everything. So, big pharma, like hopefully these vaccines work, and then like, okay, I'd like to, like
Yeah.
I'm kind of
The,
glad
the,
big pharma was a part of that, like, and it's like the United States, you can like point to the horrors like any other country that's been around a long time that has these legitimate horrors and kind of dismiss like these beautiful things. Like, yeah, we have this like modifiable constitutional republic that just like I still think is the best thing going, that
yeah.
as a model system of like how humans have to figure out how to work together. It's like it's how there's no better system that I've come across.
Yeah, there's if we're willing to look for it, there's a beautiful core to a lot of things we've created. Uh, yeah, this country is a great example of that, but most of the human experience has a beauty to it, even the suffering.
Right. So the meaning is is choosing to focus on that positivity and not forget it.
Beautifully put.
Yeah.
Speaking of experiences, this was one of my favorite experiences on this podcast, talking to you today, Matthew. I hope we get a chance to talk again. I hope to see you on Joe Rogan. It's a huge honor to talk to you. Can't wait to read your papers. Thanks for talking today.
Likewise, I very much enjoyed it. Thank you.